Hey everyone, this is Daniel, and today I'm really excited to talk about a new capability that we just introduced. And that is a text to dashboard capability, which means users are able to provide Arito with explanation of what type of dashboard they want with just one prompt, and Arito is going to create them the entire dashboard, a live self-updating dashboard based on what the user has requested. So for example, if I want to create a dashboard that kind of tracks my operating expenses performances, I'm just going to provide that explanation to Arito. I'm just going to write here in the text box, and Arito is going to look at this prompt and then come back with an offer of what type of dashboard Arito thinks is going to fit my needs. And Arito's explanation includes both on the type of the widgets that Arito is going to create, for example, monthly OPEX, budget versus actual, but also the type of the widget, which can be a table, a graph, a chart, or any of that. And more interestingly, Arito has an automatic dimension detection capability, which means Arito knows what type of dimensions are in the data and what filters are going to be added. I'm going to push create here. Obviously, I could have asked Arito for more edits and iterations, but just to save some time, I'm going to ask Arito just to build that dashboard for me. Once that is done, Arito kind of moves into dashboard building mode. As you can see on the left side, a dashboard is being built. I still have all the history of my conversation with Arito, and once this is happening, once these widgets are being built, I just want to show you that this is very, very dynamic. For example, I can ask Arito at the same time to create another dashboard for me. Let's say a sales war room dashboard, which kind of tracks my sales team KPIs, and it kind of gives them a full view of the sales pipeline, etc., etc. So same thing, Arito understands that this is sales, so it chooses sales first to get the data that it needs. But obviously, if there are other data sources that have sales data, Arito knows where to find them as well, whether that's in an Excel file or anything else. And again, Arito comes back with an offer of what type of graphs and what type of dashboard it wants to build. And here it offers obviously new dimensions because this data has other dimensions than the previous financial data. Again, we're going to accept that. And now we're going to go back to kind of where we were before, where the Arito is building the first dashboard that we created, the OPEX monitor dashboard. We can see that Arito already has built 6 of the widgets, and voila, it just created the entire dashboard. I'm going to close this side chat so you can have a look of this dashboard. It has different widgets. It has different type of charts and graphs, bar graphs, line graphs, multi-column graphs, etc. And it has Arito kind of built the layout for me. Obviously, the user can change the layout as they wish. Everything here is very, very dynamic. User can even add like widget or a new kind of section, or even add like a new filter to this dashboard. All of that is very, very adjustable and very dynamic. Now, I want to show you something really, really cool, which is collaboration around creating a dashboard. Let's say I want to create a dashboard, but maybe I want someone else's input and I want to ask the help of that person, so we can also see what they bring to the table. So I'm going to add Michael here and say, hey, Michael, have a look at this dashboard. Maybe you want to add something to it. And Michael obviously can ask Arito directly to add stuff. So this is kind of, obviously, if Michael has the right permissions, which in this case he does, then he can ask Arito to kind of create more widgets. And in this case, Michael is going to actually ask Arito to add a new filter to the dashboard. And this is the subsidiary filter. So Michael says, hey, yeah, we have an OPEX monitor, but having a subsidiary filter would be really, really helpful. Michael's asking Arito to basically add that filter to the data. Arito is going through all the data sources that it thinks are relevant. And as you can see, it has a blue bar here, meaning that Arito is going to edit that filter area. And on the right side, you can see that Arito has looked into NetSuite, and Arito basically looks at the HiBob, which has some subsidiary data, for example, for the headcount, which is stored in the HiBob in this case. And even if there are other data sources, it might be an Excel file or etc. that has some information on data sources. Here is the Excel file, obviously. If there are some information, Arito brings everything together to create that filter. Obviously, creating an automatic filter is a very, very heavy task. Arito needs to make sure that all the widgets here can or cannot be filtered based on the request of the user, because there can be cases where user manually adds some widgets to the dashboard that might not adhere to that filter. So Arito even takes that into account in order to create a filter. And once all of that process is done, which is going to happen in a few seconds or in a minute, then all of a sudden we have a new subsidiary, as you can see. It still says preview on the top, if you can see, because we have not yet approved it. But here Arito comes back and says, hey, here are the values that it found, and we check that, it seems okay to us, and we say, okay, yes, add that filter. And now that filter has been added. And if we go and kind of apply it, if you can see the numbers here on the top left, and the graphs are going to change because now the data has been filtered. And also everything that's changed has that mark of a filter on it, so that user can easily understand what has been filtered in the data. Obviously, user can clear the filters to go back to the additional view. And just to mention, just to remind everybody, that all the other capabilities that we have had are all available in the dashboard. For example, asking something from Arito or creating an update. Let's say I want a periodic update, or maybe I want an alert if the OPEX goes past certain limit or drops below certain limit. I want Arito to alert me, so Arito kind of has that capability as well. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk soon.